Hello people! Today we're going to do a real easy set of summer neon stripes and flower nails. And we're going to start off. I've done these are a shorty set that I've done on a short coffin set that I got prepped. We're going to go in with white. I didn't show you the white polish bottle, but this is the same white one I always use, which is the Clau Beaute, or however you pronounce it. Now you want to go in with some nice thin layers so you don't get wrinkling, because we all know the white is one of the ones that wants to wrinkle on you the worst. Oops, piece of stuff on there. I don't know what that was, fluff or something. And there it is again. Okay, we're going to cure that. Bam, now they're back. We're going to put the second coat on. Now, since we're using neon colors for the most part, it's always a good idea to put at least one coat of white underneath, because it makes your neon pop a lot brighter. Which is why I didn't just paint the one white stripe down the center, as it will look like in the end. The center will have a white stripe, but I needed the white on all of it so my neon would look nicer. Okay, that will go in for curing, and it's been done, and we're back out. And we're going to move on to the color stripes. Now here's the, well, briefly, there's the map that I drew for myself so I could keep my colors straight as to where I was going to put stuff, because I had it all worked out, and I knew if I didn't write something out, I was going to have a mess. Now this one's a Beetles. We have a mixed bag of polish for these again. Sorry about that. What we're just going to do is we're going to paint, we're going to leave the center of these white, and we're going to paint down both sides with with the color. Now those are the flowers that I'm going to use. Those are what I pulled my colors from. Now if you didn't have those flowers to use, you could use a dotting tool, and you could just make your own flowers when we get to that, but I'll talk about that more when we get to that part. But as I said, I'm just going to go down both sides. Now this is the pinky nail, so it was a lot smaller than the others. And I had decided, after I got that on there, that too much of the center was covered. I need that white stripe to be at least wide enough for the flowers to fit in there. And this being the pinky, and it was so narrow, I needed to keep my blue stripes to be a lot shorter. So I've got some alcohol on my cleanup brush. I'm going to attempt to do this. Now this took me a little bit because this brush is not great anymore. So it was creating problems in other areas as I was taking it off one side. So this was a little bit of a pain in the butt moment here, but eventually I will get it. I left this in so you guys can see that things don't always go smoothly. Well, if you've watched my videos before, you know that things often don't go smoothly for me. So once again, you can see the mistakes I make, so you can avoid them when you do it yourself. Now, I don't know why I didn't cut this part right there, but I thought I did, but clearly I did not. All right, I'm going to try and finish smoothing this out. I was trying to find a cleanup brush that had a smooth edge to it, and I haven't succeeded yet because that one still isn't what I wanted. All my good cleanup brushes have gotten a bit trashed, so I kind of have to play it by ear when I need one. And I'm just using alcohol. I think I said that. Now that is not at all a straight line. Alright, that's a little better. Okay, I think that's going to be good enough for that. And I believe we're ready to move on to the next one. Or not. I'm just giving, oh, I think I took a little too much off that one part, so I'm just going to go over it again. I think I left the beginning part of this in normal speed, but later on I think I'm going to speed it up some. We should be done with that one by now. And we're back to the cleanup brush. Oh boy. And look, I just made it sloppy on that other side again. I remember this one particular nail had me fussing over it for a ridiculous amount of time when it should have been done. I'm just trying to clean my mess up that I made right there. I think we're going to call it good enough. And we move on to the next one. And this one will be the orange one, which we've now switched to Makartt polish. And we're going to do the same thing we just did on the other one. All of these are going to be the same thing, we're just switching up colors on each nail. So this time I tried to make sure I left myself a wide enough stripe in the center so I don't have to play around with the cleanup brush a lot. And okay, we're good with that one. Moving on. I believe the green one is next. And being it's taking me so long to get that on there and get the next one, I'm guessing my glove was caught underneath there again. The joy of wearing gloves. I hate it so much. Okay, we are moving on. Eventually. Oh, for Pete's sakes. What is happening here? Okay, pretty soon we're going to move on to get the next polish. I don't know what I was doing right there. And now we're on to the green one, like I said, like 5 minutes ago. And once again, same thing. And this one I think is going to need a little cleanup. Okay, I'm happy with that. And we're moving on again. The next one I believe is the pink one. Whoopsie. Almost knocked my computer off of there. That would have been bad. And there's the requisite hair. Okay, now we are under the pink one. I know that looked like red on the top of there, but it's actually pink in the bottle. It's like a dark neon pink. One thing I have learned about when you want to get a straight line edge like that, if you're using a striper or just like I was using the bottle brushes, if you go the faster, well, I shouldn't say that either. If you go really slow, like you're trying to be super careful, your line will get wiggly. But if you go at a pretty good speed, I mean, don't go real super fast, but if you go at a steady, fast kind of speed with confidence, you can get a lot straighter of a line. That took me a good while to learn. Um, and even then, sometimes it still doesn't come out the greatest. Hey, this will be the thumb, the yellow one. Okay, we gotta fix that a little bit. There, I think we're okay there. All right, those are gonna go into cure. And that's what, whoops. Well, that's where we are right now. We got all that part. Now they've been cured. Now we're going in with the second coat. Now this part should be sped up a little bit, so shouldn't have to sit through. This should be quicker anyway because I don't think I had to do any cleanup on this part. When I started this set, I was shooting for something that was going to be fairly quick and easy to do because it's been ridiculously hot here and I didn't want to spend any more time than I needed to in here in my nail room. So, while I like the design, I have to, to be honest, this ended up not being my best work. I'll explain more about that as we get to the striping part closer to the end. Right as they stand right now, looking at them, they remind me of beach balls for some reason. And as you're watching me finish up this yellow one, next week I will be doing a set of beach nails. Not nails you can wear to the beach, although you could, but I mean actual nails that look like a beach is what I'm trying to say. So you might want to stay tuned for that. That's going to have some interesting, hopefully some interesting things with it. Okay, we've got those cured. Now we're moving on to the flowers. Now I've got these little flowers. They're super thin. They're like cut out of paper, some kind of paper. I've dumped them out, some of them on a piece of paper, specifically so when I was done, I could pick this paper up and pour them back into the jar easily. Because I needed to be able to spread them out better to see what I was looking for in there were the dots, the little centers of the flowers when they got punched out, because those are in there too, but none of them looked like they came out. So after I get some of these on this yellow one, I'm going to have to dump some more out. Okay, we're going to take base gel, and I'm just going to go down the center where the white is. I'm not putting it on the whole nail. Okay, easy peasy right down there. Now, referring back to my map that you guys now cannot see, this one, I forget what color the flowers were on. Okay, we got orange. Okay, so we got orange flowers on this one. And the big stripes on the outside of this are yellow, so we're going to use yellow dots for the centers of those orange flowers. And then when we get to the striping part, we're going to put orange stripes down the middle of the yellow stripes. So there actually is a method to my madness. If you just looked at that map I drew out, you'd be, I mean, it looks like hieroglyphics, but it made sense to me. And I had planned my colors out, so I wanted to make sure I didn't screw anything up by doing something weird and getting it all not right. Okay, there's a hair on there I was trying to get out. Now, I thought I cut this part because it takes me a good while to get it off of there. And I could have sworn I cut this out. Maybe I didn't. Or maybe I, oh yeah, I did. Okay, there was a whole big thing of me trying to get that hair off of there. All right, now we need the yellow, or the yellow centers for the middle of these. And all the little dot parts were at the bottom of this jar, which was not cool, but okay, see, there they are. So I needed those, but I really didn't want all these other flowers out of there. I got this one, these came from AliExpress, FYI. I got these last year, like a little envelope thing, you know, a little, one of those kind of little, I don't know, maybe a 2x3 size little plastic bag of these things. And I guarantee you these are going to last me forever. Because they're so thin, there's a lot more of them in there than you think there are. Now, what I was saying earlier, if you don't have these kind of flowers and you want to do this design, you can also take a dotting tool and just make those little 5-petal flowers easily enough and then put your dot of color in the middle. That would have worked perfectly fine. This one was giving me problems with the dot. It didn't want to get into the middle of the flower, and then it kept moving around. Okay, eventually I'm going to be happy with this, and then we're going to move on to the next one. I'll do the whole rack of these before I cure them. Okay, we're going to move on eventually here to the pink one. Now, I believe this one had green flowers on it. So basically, you're just picking stuff up and putting them on there, which is super easy. If you, like I said, if you have to, even if you have to use the dotting tool and make your own flowers, that's still super easy. Easy to do, not at all hard. If you've got dotting tools, you've probably made those kind of flowers already on something, because that's one of the first things you usually do when you get dotting tools. Besides doing polka dots on everything, you start off with the simple little flowers like that. At least I know I did. Now here's another one where I was having a lot of problems getting the dot off of the end of my picker-upper thing. Or if I did get it off of there, it wouldn't be in the center of the flower, and then I'm trying to get it in there, and then everything's moving around. That was the only really frustrating part of this whole process for me. A lot of them didn't want to cooperate. Okay, that should be good. And this green one is going to have yellow flowers, I think, if I remember correctly. And we just carry on doing the same thing. Oops, sorry about that. Just bumped my whole computer. Yeah, it actually might have been easier instead of using the little dots that came in these for the middles if I had just used the dotting tool and the polish and put them on there. One of those things, you know, in hindsight, you always figure out the stuff you could have done differently. Okay, there's the green one. And moving on to the orange one. Sorry, I'm not feeling too chatty today. It's just so hot here. I don't have the energy to do anything. Hopefully, it's supposedly going to be just a little bit cooler in the next couple of days, down in the 80s, which is good for us because normally it's super hot here. We're in for, what are we in, June? At least the next 3 months of ridiculously hot weather here. Probably more like 4 months because we pretty much carry on almost all the way through October where it's still pretty hot. And I can't believe this year it's already half done. It's ridiculous. You know, this one, I do remember this one. The orange dots for some reason gave me a ridiculous amount of trouble to get them on there. Now it's back off of there again. Thinking maybe I should have used something else. Maybe a dotting tool would have been better for this part than trying to use the end of that. Because the end of that picker-upper thing has like a hollow tube. So some of them were getting stuck in there, I think, is why they didn't want to come out. Oh, look, I've moved that one out of the center again now. For Pete's sake. Oh, it's off again. Oh, Lordy, I think they were out to get me that day. All right, it's back on. We got one on there. All right, stop moving them around. You're going to mess it up again, dummy. All right, there we go. Now we just got the pinky to get through. And my glove is stuck underneath there again. All right, home stretch, guys. Now this isn't really neon, the purple, but being as that's my favorite color, I had to use these little purple flowers somewhere. So when we get to the stripes and I show you the polish for the purple stripes, it's a pastel purple. It's not the neon one, but it does match the flowers pretty well. Now I got the little dot on the side of there. And now we get to play the game of lining everything all up. This one's got to be a lot closer together because it being the pinky, I don't have as much real estate to work with. And close enough. All right, we're going to cure those. In you go. Okay, now they're back out. I've cleaned up the flower mess. And now we are going to go over these with a layer of base coat again. This will even them out a little bit and seal those in. And then we will cure that. Okay, now that's done. Now I have put the colors on my palette. There's the purple that we're going to use for the stripes. There's the bottle for the purple one and the color, since you didn't see that one earlier. And we're going to start with that one. Okay, now the color of these stripes is going to match the flower color. Now this is where I started to go wrong. Getting the stripes on, okay, that's not the problem. And they went on looking nice. Okay, you see how they're nice and straight and lines are crisp. Now what I should have flash cured these as I was going, and I did not. I wanted to get the whole rack done. And we're moving on to the next one. So I left them all sitting on the rack as I was going, and being it's so hot, it started to spread a little, so it doesn't look as nice and crisp as it did when I first put them on there. Oops, sorry about that. So if you guys are going to do something like this, I would flash cure in between after you do each stripe. Okay, I did the rest off camera. The stripes match the color of the flowers like we talked about, and now we're going in with the top coat. Yeah, I ended up doing two layers of top coat on this because for some reason it wanted to bead up on top of there. I don't know why. Sometimes I have that problem, sometimes I don't. So I didn't figure and I didn't catch all of it before it went through curing, so I had ended up with little holes that I needed to fix, so I had to do a second layer. I'm not going to show that. You guys don't need to see all that. See, that one, I already noticed it on that one, so that's why I'm going over these again. I was starting to see them start to bead and spread apart. Here they are, all finished. I hope you like them. If you do, please give me a like and hit that subscribe button. If you want to see more, I upload every Saturday. Thank you for watching.